Call the December solid waste meeting to order. Meeting properly announced.
Yep.
Okay, roll call. Let the record show all members are present. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move. Second.
Motion second to approve the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Need a motion to approve the minutes
So
from
moved.
November Motion.
Yep, second.
and second. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public participation, if we have any. Everybody have a chance to look at the financials? Questions? Okay, moving on, site report.
3,900 tons of garbage collected in November, brings our year to date to 45,048 tons, which is 4,500 more tons than the same time in 2021. 336 tons of recycling was collected in November. 3,000 year to date, 3,810, which is 228 tons more than this time in 2021.
Can you say that again? I'm sorry, 38
3,800
tons
tons collected so far.
recycling.
Yep.
Compared to how many of garbage?
45,000.
45,000.
So yeah, 228 tons more than the same time last year. No safety matters, regular maintenance continues at the well house. Camera installations finally been completed. So everything is up and running for the camera system. The final report from NewGen is complete and submitted. So all their kind of final numbers, if you guys are interested in kind of looking at that, it's available on here. I have it in the office. It's a long report. It's like 60 some pages. So it's all just the detail work of everything that they presented, like how they found all those numbers, how they break down the numbers that they presented. So if anyone wants to read it, they can have a copy of it.
And any kickback when you mail out all these notifications of price increase?
Nope. So,
Anybody that called and said, okay, forget it, we're not gonna do what we were doing because of the price.
no.
Great.
Yeah, no, I don't think we lost a single customer just because of the. I shouldn't say that. I can get back to that. There was one that said they were gonna look around at other pricing.
A municipality or just a vendor?
No,
Or-
just I think it was a commercial account. They're not gonna find anything cheaper, so. But no, none of the municipalities had any pushback, none of the transfer sites. I guess the one was just like, this is gonna be hard on us, and I responded, I gave them a bunch of options, and I haven't heard anything from them since. So. Yeah.
And that kicks in January.
Yep, so we have all the pricing posted. Signs on the door, on our Facebook page, on the website, that prices will be increasing, like our tonnage fees and our minimum fees and different things like that. Our sheet, like all of our drop off items, there's a few small things that's gonna be increasing. Like when random people just come and drop stuff off, but it's really small amounts of stuff. And that stuff's all been posted and people have had plenty of time to kind of see it. But there probably will be some upset people come January 1st, when they come in and bring the garbage in, and the tipping fee is a significant amount higher than it's been before, and our minimum fee went up as well, so. We just had a guy come in yesterday and was like, oh, you guys raised your minimum fee, it's $15 right now. And last year it was $10, and you just must have not been in all year. And we're like, yep, and in 2 weeks, it's gonna be raised again. And he wasn't.
So if somebody comes up here with one bag of garbage, they gotta pay $15.
Yep, covers up to 400 pounds. So then after that, it goes to like a prorated amount off of the $62 a ton, or in January 1st, $66 a ton.
And You do have the gate, the driveway, the entrance to the dump, that's all photographed, it's all on tape.
Yep,
Everything, as soon as you pull in,
so there's a camera at the gate. And then there's one for the outside cameras, there's a camera at the gate, and then there's one at the scale, looking at whoever drives on, and it can see the whole drop off area.
you'd say this, which would be interesting to see how much we may end up with in the driveway. When people find out that this.
Could be,
minimum-
we pick up a lot already from the front of the driveway.
But now you should be able, if it's directed right, you should be able to get license plates, can't you?
They said there's special cameras that they make for license plates. We did not go that route because they're pretty pricey, and for how much they cost, we don't have that much of an issue.
Yeah,
That is really worth chasing down the $15 that
yeah.
that they would have to pay.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually go with, but they said if they pull in right, you might be able to get
I know just on
some
our
numbers
transfer
and stuff
site,
and
just almost every week.
stuff
there's
just
something
left there.
sitting outside the gate.
Yep.
Well,
The
Yeah.
reason I asked that question, I was sitting there thinking, I have a neighbor that cost $26 a month, I think we pay for LRS right now to pick up in our area.
Mhm.
And he refuses to pay the $26 a month, so he drives all the way from Springfield up here.
Oh, we have other people that do that too.
Two people take it, but I'm responsible for the principal. You realize what he's paying for gas plus $15 to get rid of a.
Well, now it's going up in January, so what's going through in January?
Right now it's
Yeah.
15
What-
is the minimum, it's going to 20.
20, so,
I knew he was nuts, now I know for sure.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Filling operations, we're doing really well, we're continuing as normal. The vertical expansion is still ongoing. The original timeline was kind of November, December of 23 to get that approved. The DNR actually just told us it's more than likely not going to be until spring of 2024, so like May is the date they told us. That's gonna make it incredibly tight on our filling, like we're gonna be very, very close to running out of space to place garbage. And that kind of brings me into my next thing. We are gonna have to probably build a cell sooner than we originally planned due to increased fill rates. So our timeline of events is set off our historical data, which is about a 3% increase of garbage year over year. These last 2 years, it's been about 10% increase in garbage year over year, which is a massive increase. But I'm just giving like an overall right now. So the cost of a new cell is gonna be around $3.5 million for a whole project. But that's all I'm probably gonna go into. I do plan on putting together like a full, so I just kind of got this information in the last couple days from the engineers, because I asked them to put together like an updated timeline based on our current filling rates, and this is what they came back with. But I am gonna put together kind of a larger scale presentation for next month, so you guys can see exact dollars, exact timeline, what our different options are, building very soon as opposed to trying to hold off, and just the risk associated with that. And then we kind of have to make a decision relatively quick on some of this. But like I said, I don't have a lot of it put together because I was just getting this information on Friday. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up. But
So will next month be a decision process or just a presentation?
I guess I don't know. I mean, it probably should be labeled as a decision process, and if we don't make one, that's fine, but at least it's on there, that the option is there to make a decision. And if we don't make one, then obviously we can move it to the next one, but building sooner than
Well,
later does need to be decided relatively quick, because it takes time to get all this planned and get the engineers design work, so that first, as soon as the weather kind of breaks again, we can start.
Are we gonna have all that information printed on the agenda.
Which,
The reason I ask, I'm not gonna make it next month's meeting.
oh, okay,
I'll be at the hospital,
oh, yeah.
but I will be able to see the.
Yeah,
agenda.
I'll put, it'll be like a
And I will
PowerPoint,
have
that you'll
somebody
at
fill
least
in.
look at the slides, and then I'll have the information that you could have hard copies of it as well, so, yeah.
And you study in that 5-year plan, did that include a new cell?
It did,
In the pricing?
to
So
slowly
you're just-
build up funds to,
But you're saying it's gonna happen before that now?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was nothing, they were going off the historical data that we
Understand,
had.
got it, I understand.
Yeah.
So, and we have every opportunity then to change our plan from the 5-year increasing to the point that we were in good shape, we could do it in 3. I mean, we could change
Yeah, yeah,
that all.
we actually did that. The price increase we're going with is already condensing the 5-year plan they gave us
To 3.
into 3. And if we need to increase rates more, we have that freedom as well. So the community, and I already put that in the communication we sent out to all the municipalities about like our price increases. That this is something we're gonna look at year over year, like this is not a definitive cycle, it's something we're gonna take a look at.
I think that the more transparent you can make it in that letter, in the fact of talking about a cell.
Yeah.
And you know, that I think that's gonna be more understanding than to either a vendor or a personal. Or
Yeah.
whatever. So, okay,
So, and then there'll be some future stuff that we need to at least get on the table in terms of what happens after, so we're permitted for one more cell. We're in cell 5 right now, we're permitted to build cell 6. And then I'm gonna have some stuff, and there's not gonna be any decisions need to be made for that, but just some timeline and some rough dollars on what the next kind of step in the landfill is gonna look like, or could look like. So, because it's all gonna come very quick, I mean, relatively very quickly, all this stuff is gonna.
Have you looked any more into what there is for clay out here yet?
Yeah. Okay, so we did find, in some of the fields that we had leased, we did some digging in there. And we didn't find any in there. We went down 12, 13 feet. And we weren't finding anything useful. In our current borrow area, we did find a decent amount.
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna be everything that we need, but it's a very good start to at least keep us going. So we did find more than we thought we was going to.
okay,
And yeah, that was just in the last kind of couple weeks.
okay.
why'd you ask that question? Is it sellable?
No, we have to use it to build the cell.
Oh, I see, okay, I got
Yeah,
it.
because it's gotta be lined.
Yep, so it's a
The
clay.
cell's gotta get lined with clay.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so it's a 3-foot layer of clay that needs to be put in the cell. So you have your stone, and then you have your clay, and then you have like a plastic liner essentially, and then you have stone on top of that. So, and we are still clay short, so you technically have to have enough clay available to you. It doesn't have to be on site, but available to you, whether you have a lease agreement with someone or a mining agreement with someone to build all your permanent areas and to cap all your permanent areas. Right now, we really only have enough clay to build the liner. We don't have enough to cap everything.
Now, that
but-
cap, is that gotta be the same type of clay?
Yeah, but we're not, there's exceptions you can get from the DNR, and we're already in the process of getting that, where there's new materials out there,
Synthetic.
it's like a synthetic stuff that you can use in place of clay.
Okay.
So it's very expensive,
Yeah,
but
moving clay in
that's
and out.
moving clay is very expensive. If we had to go off-site to get clay
Yeah.
somewhere, we're looking at $25 a ton placed.
Yeah.
That's gonna be.
You know, depending on how far it's gotta travel.
Yeah, and that's, so, yeah, so if we could get it on site, obviously that's the cheapest, but if we have to haul it in, this synthetic stuff is just as cost.
Do you go out in any of the wooded areas around here and see what there is underneath the trees or?
That's kind of a last resort from the DNR. They don't like disturbing planted areas already. like if you don't have to. So since we already have open fields and open, I mean, if there's pretty good like evidence that one of these veins of clay goes right into, then they will. But just to start digging up,
No,
just
I
to,
was thinking of going out and doing some core samples.
of course, yeah, that might be.
Just to follow, just see if you can follow a vein somewhere,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
see what it is, and I mean, not to go and clear cut it and then start
Right.
digging. Yeah.
The other thing that they gotta look at through the DNR is the age of that forest too,
Yeah,
you know, like.
age of the forest,
If
there's
it's old enough and it needs to be harvested, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And
wetland areas is another thing we always look at. Do these forested areas serve as some sort of wetland? Then they're really against
Oh, yeah,
tearing that
yeah.
up. So,
And if you exhaust the clay out of that one, where you can say, well, we're gonna replant that to
Yeah.
whatever, so
Yeah.
that you can offset it, 2 acres to 1 or whatever it is, but
Okay, moving on.
So yeah, that's landfill stuff, more on that next month. Leonard, we're gonna be meeting in January to start a new, or at least start talks to get a new contract, which obviously that will be part of the presentation of what our landfill looks like with Leonard and what it looks like without, so. And then I'm meeting with the farmers that do lease our land for farming next week, just to kind of start their new lease agreement, because their lease agreement is up, actually. It's actually expired right now.
Who's leasing besides, Lula?
That's it.
That's it. None of this stuff back in here is leased out. Isn't there some fields back in here? Is that all Lula's?
All of it, yeah, they have all of our.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and some of their discussions are gonna be revolving around the clay issue, because we might have to go into their fields more. And actually, one of the fields they have leased from us right now is actually where probably the new landfill footprint is gonna go. It's in the field area, so I gotta talk to them about that. And just kind of see their thoughts and stuff like that, and then also I did get a higher price. They haven't had a price increase in like 15 years on their lease land, so.
with Lennon, or you working with that, have they been bringing any garbage or recycling in at this time, or is it?
Yeah, they bring all their garbage in.
All the
They
garbage?
always have been. And recycling actually started bringing some. Jason's been talking with them, so they've been bringing about 1 load a week. Which really at this point is all we can handle, but even that is not consistent. Like last week they didn't bring any, and this week they haven't brought any yet. But the 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks before that, they were bringing about 1 week. So the new contract with Leonard is probably not gonna have any recycling aspect built into it like this last one did, just so we don't get into the spot where we were before. And it'll just be a kind of as needed basis. They'll bring recycling when we can handle it and when we can take it, and if we can't, then we just tell them we can't. And it won't affect any of like the garbage rates or anything like that, like it does now. So,
Backing up just a step.
Yeah.
That land that Bula leases, is that irrigated?
Yeah.
It is. Can I ask what they're paying?
is Kyle on?
Yeah,
Kyle,
I'm on. I don't know it offhand. I thought it was like 199 acres. Is that right, Charlie?
I want to say 175.
Yeah, and I think it was 200 an acre roughly. I'm not positive though.
Yeah, so
That sounds familiar.
it's right around there.
Because I know when I was on, when we went through that, I think it was around $200 mark.
Yeah,
Which is considerably lower than what they would pay for leasing land from anybody in the private sector.
Yeah, they own the
maybe, but
area.
they put in all the irrigation and they own it, so that's
They
why
own
the
the
price is
irrigation.
not set. Like. Because we didn't have to put in that irrigation, they did all of that themselves. But it is still a little bit lower. than
Oh.
kind of-
185 per acre.
185, yeah.
So the lease is up, so is there any determination as to the new price?
That's what we're gonna talk to them about.
Are you gonna start the price? So where do you,
I'm not entirely sure. I'm talking with Jason, the recycling manager. His family does a lot of farming and he just has a lot more knowledge. I don't. I don't know what, like, I don't know what a proper
apparently
price.
he does, apparently you do.
To a point.
So, I mean, where do you think they should start negotiating at that acreage?
Well, it's a little different story when you say that they paid to put the irrigation system in.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of changes the factor, but otherwise, leases on irrigated land, 400 to 500 an acre isn't unusual.
Okay, so under the basis of them doing that, do you have any recommendation that we can start it, or they can start it? Are you go at 215 or 220?
Well, they're at 185 now. I mean,
Jason,
the number I would like to see is another 100.
and I have no idea if that's realistic or not, honestly, so
But Jason would have a very good idea.
he thought to start at like 250 and then if we can negotiate from there a little bit, but that was the number he threw out, but that was just kind of quick.
Well, keep in mind, that, you know, the way I look at it is, you don't wanna chase them out. You gotta
I
work
know,
with them,
that's.
otherwise these irrigators are going away, and you're not gonna get 250 an acre unless somebody comes in and.
It costs a lot of money to put that system.
Yeah, because they just put this one in 2 years ago.
They paid
They
for-
upgraded that one.
They paid for the well and everything, right?
Yeah.
When that well went in,
They did it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's actual, from an operational standpoint, there's rules within the DNR that now that that is cropland, it has to be maintained as cropland. Like you can't just
Right.
let it go to nothing now.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah,
nice
they paid
little,
for that system, Lisa.
it's a nice little
Well, yeah, cheap
extra
with
money
the
for
wells
us.
and the one thing, you know, you got the cost of the irrigation itself.
And they've been really good to work with, so yeah, I wanna.
That's why they did
I wanna
long-term lease.
continue.
Right. If they wouldn't have long-term lease, they wouldn't have done that, and they probably wouldn't have leased it.
Right.
It would have been farmer's dry land at that time, and then you're looking at. You ain't getting $100 an acre for dry land.
No.
I don't pay anywhere close to any of that stuff that I bought, so.
I think, Kyle, some of that acreage that they lease, there's a chunk of it that is dry land, right?
there's some-
Because I think that 175 includes that dry land too, so
It could be,
it's a decent price.
yeah, there's some that
It's that
off there.
off, it's the stuff that's separate from the rest of it. That's just dry, you know,
Yeah, no, just these two that
Yeah.
have the irrigation.
But that's where the next planning is as well, to build, so a long-term lease is gonna be out of the question again. It's gonna be a pretty short lease, and then
Then
it
it'll
just,
just get 5 years out of it.
yeah, hopefully, 5 is. But I think before they used to do it, like, this last one was 5, but the one before that was like 15 or something like that, or
It's
10,
15, yeah.
it was a long one.
Yeah, for with that irrigation, it would be.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where that, MRF operations, 28 loads, went out, okay month, prices are still really low, so we're not sending out kind of this, we're not pushing out as fast as we possibly can, just because the prices aren't that great still. But he did hit his goal for the year, so that was really good to see. He hit that in the beginning of November, actually, so for revenues. So that was really good. And then the last thing I wanted to kind of talk about or get some opinions, so we send out these commercial hauling permits every year. And I just don't necessarily understand what they're for or why we even need them, but it's in the ordinance, it's in the county ordinance, so. I don't know, does either, any of you guys have any background on this or have any thoughts? So it's not clear in the ordinance who actually gets them, just says any commercial hauler of garbage or recycling, but Is that like just waste management, just LRS, or is that every little commercial person that brings their garbage? But I'm just saying it's not clear. And whoever gets it, it's not very consistent either.
Currently got.
It's a list, there's a list of maybe like 10 to 15.
Let it would be one.
Yeah, waste management, Upper Rapids, LRS. I guess I don't understand why. We already have an ordinance that makes them bring their
Yeah,
garbage
everything
here.
has gotta come here anyway.
So why are we charging them an additional fee to bring their garbage here?
It must
We
be
already,
something that happened originally because of that, but it don't make sense that
so it's not an
all
overly
the
big
garbage,
amount
all the
either.
garbage has gotta come here,
Yeah,
you know?
So do they pay for this?
yeah, we send them an application essentially, and I mean, the way it's worded is that they have to, but I just, not everyone
The only,
does because.
the only thing that would make sense is if they're bringing out of county garbage in.
But it says in the ordinance it's for the county,
Okay.
so I just don't,
I suppose just letting know who's bringing it in.
Yeah.
so I don't know what the process is to change an ordinance either. Like, I don't know what.
I don't know what
So
it's-
first you have to-
Other than to make a list of who's gonna be doing it. you know? If that's the case, it might be.
I assume, I mean, my thoughts would be just to get rid of this, like, it just doesn't, I don't understand why we're doing it. It's not some huge amount or anything.
Okay, we have an ordinance that all Adams County garbage must be brought here.
Yep.
You want to eliminate the permitting structure.
The permitting. It just doesn't make sense to charge these people. I mean, yeah, the huge
On top of what
companies,
they
they
have to
can.
So we're not talking about changing an ordinance, we're talking.
No,
about
the permitting part is.
Eliminating a permit.
Which is in the ordinance as well.
You just have to do it.
Well, then-
to it.
You can't, if it's in the ordinance, you can't just eliminate it, it's part of the, if it's in the ordinance of the county ordinance, then you just can't eliminate.
You can amend the ordinance.
Right.
Yeah.
That's me, I don't know the process behind it. That's-
So do we have to bring that up? You have to bring it up before the next meeting?
I would think the corporate counsel has to tell you how the.
I think
Yeah.
that we need to come out
Talk to
with
Jeff.
Jeff and see.
Corporate counsel.
And I can look into
Here,
it.
and then it would go to admin and finance.
What about Kyle?
And I can look into that part of it. I'm more, are you guys okay if I go ahead and
Yeah.
get
I
rid
think
of this
that's-
part of this? Like, that's, I can look into the whole process of it and
Okay.
figure out what I need to do. I'm more looking for you guys, as the solid waste committee, okay with me kind of eliminating or changing or doing whatever I need to do. So it's
Either a motion or a
$75.
rocket.
It's $75 for the permit, and then it's $25 per truck if they have like multiple trucks within their fleet.
We'll go ahead and look into whatever you need to do and then bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay, that's fine.
Because
I
we
can do
can't
that.
do anything now.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to do now. I'm just more, are you guys okay if I at least look into this and if there was like a good reason that maybe one of you knew why this was here,
Not me.
but I can't do it. It
Any
just-
longer than anything.
Yeah.
It just feels like an added fee.
This
that's
is
not
actually the
necessary.
first I've ever seen it.
So we do it every year.
Yeah, but it's never been brought to the
Oh,
committee
yeah.
before, so
And I just don't get it. So that's all.
I agree with you. I don't understand it either. Right? That's, you know, that's why I was kind of dumbfounded around even what was going on.
Yeah, I knew there was an ordinance there.
Well, I knew the ordinance was there
Trash
for
had
all
to be brought here, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know anything about this commercial stuff.
Okay. So I'll look into that. That'll probably be something on the next agenda as well.
Yeah.
Have an update. But that's all I got. So
Okay,
that's it for the second.
project status report, Kyle.
That's me too. We do this every month. You say that.
Yeah, well.
There's really no update. No, the only, I mean, the vertical expansion is still ongoing and the cameras got done. So everything else is complete and done. We don't have any other projects that we're working through right now for 2022.
Okay. Upcoming agenda items,
We already identified that.
we have next meeting day, January 10th. 5 PM here.
Okay.
Meeting's adjourned. We can stop the recording.
Okay, see, Bruce. Yep.